Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you always end up being in healthy relationships? Or maybe you struggle to trust people, feel like you just don't belong, or believe deep down that no one will truly love you. These patterns might not just be bad luck, but they could be linked to maladaptive schemas. My name's Kelly. I am a forensic psychologist and CBT therapist, and today we're going to be looking at Domain 1 within schemas. So schemas are deep-rooted beliefs formed in childhood that shape how we see ourselves, others, and the world. When they're maladaptive, they can lead to emotional struggles, self-sabotaging behaviours. So today we want to dive into the first schema domain of disconnection and rejection, which arguably affects our relationships the most. So with this domain of disconnection and rejection, it consists of 5 core themes. And if you struggle with these, you might find relationships difficult because deep down you expect others to let you down, reject you, or abandon you. So the first one is abandonment or instability. So a belief that someone may have if they have this schema is that people will always leave me. But what does this mean? That this schema makes you believe that people you care about will eventually leave, whether through death, rejection, or emotional withdrawal. So imagine that you're in a relationship and your partner is late replying to a text. Instead of thinking, oh, they're just busy, your mind goes to, oh, they've lost interest, I knew that this would happen. And you may react by pushing them away before they can leave you. But where does this come from? This often develops in childhood if caregivers were inconsistent. Perhaps loving one moment, but then unavailable the next. And some of the signs that you may have this schema is that you may fear of being abandoned in relationships. You may feel clingy or push people away to avoid getting hurt. You may experience extreme anxiety when loved ones are distant. The second schema is mistrust and abuse. So the belief that you may have if you have this schema is that people will hurt me, use me, or betray me. So with this, what it means is that you expect others to be cruel, manipulative, or to take advantage of you. An example of this could be that you start a new job and your boss gives you a compliment. Instead of feeling good about it, you think, what do they want from me? And this schema makes it hard to genuinely trust others' kindness. And this comes from in your childhood that you may have experienced betrayal, neglect, or abuse. And some of the signs that you may have this schema is that you could have difficulty trusting others, even if they're kind. You may feel hypervigilant, always looking at the signs that someone could or will hurt you. You may push other people away before they can betray you. Then schema 3, emotional deprivation. So with this, the belief that someone may have is that no one will ever truly be there for me emotionally. And what this means is that you believe that no one will meet your emotional needs, whether it's love, support, or understanding. An example of this could be that if you're feeling down and you need some comfort, instead of reaching out to others, you think, what's the point? No one really cares. So you bottle it up and then you reinforce that loneliness. And this can stem from emotionally distant parents or caregivers, or growing up feeling unheard. And signs that you could have this schema is that you feel emotionally disconnected from others. You avoid vulnerability because you expect disappointment. And maybe you attract emotionally unavailable people. The fourth schema is defectiveness shame. So the belief that some people have with this, it could be that if other people knew the real me, they wouldn't love me. And what this means is that you feel fundamentally flawed and unworthy of love. An example of this could be that you get a promotion, but instead of celebrating, you think, I don't deserve this. They'll find out that I'm a fraud. So you downplay your achievements because deep down you feel unworthy. And this is often linked to childhood criticism, bullying, or sometimes a constant comparison to other people. And signs that you might have this schema could be feeling like you're never good enough, hiding parts of yourself to avoid rejection, or overachieving or perfectionism to prove your worth. And the fifth schema in this domain is social isolation and alienation. So a belief would be, I don't belong anywhere. And what this means is that you feel disconnected, you feel like an outsider. An example could be at a party, everyone's chatting, laughing, getting on really well with each other, but you feel like you're on the outside looking in. And instead of joining in, you withdraw and you're convinced you don't fit in. And where this comes from. This can develop if you were excluded as a child or maybe had trouble forming connections. And signs that you could have this schema is that you feel different from everyone else. You avoid social situations due to the fear of rejection. You struggle to form deep and meaningful relationships. So what can we do if we recognise these patterns in ourselves? And the good news is that schemas can be changed. And thinking about this domain, here are a couple of steps that I think could be helpful if you did want to make any changes. First of all is to identify your triggers. So notice when maybe particular thoughts pop up, so kind of that I don't fit in or feeling mistrusting of others, noticing the ones where you feel that strong reaction, even if you don't understand truly why that reaction is there. Challenge your narrative. So if you get some negative thoughts or maybe some strong beliefs, asking yourself, is this belief or thought based on past experience or the present reality? Seeking healthy relationships. So surrounding yourself with people who reinforce trust and emotional security. And of course, professional support can be found through schema therapy or schema-informed therapy. So this part of the series is I'm going to be going through all the different schema domains. So if you stuck around this far, please make sure you check out my other videos that are going to be coming up as I go through each of the domains. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and maybe share with someone who might need to hear this. Thank you and take care.